wonder, will it ever end? Sometimes I can barely breathe, dear. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Will you follow me under when I'm crumbling? Every night I wonder, will it ever end? Sometimes I can barely breathe, dear. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Will you follow me under? Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor, the dust will come. Keep on hunting for the prey. No matter how long, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother. Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor, the dust will come. Keep on hunting for the prey. No matter how long, need no light, no spark. I'm in line mode. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother.
Don't you know I'm a bad little mama? I got moves like Madonna. Don't tell me cause I move when I'm gonna. I'm not afraid to lose, I am a prima donna. Don't you see I'm a winner, I'm a queen. I cause no scene if you work with me. Don't stop me cause I fight when I wanna. I'm not afraid to lose, I am a prima donna.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up.
Back against the wall, still I'm standing tall. Know about the ball, I got my fan with me. All we know is ball to empty out the mouths. The chosen one they call, I take my fan with me. Know about it if you tell, know you're breaking codes. What your credibility and all fall like dominoes. Can you really take a stance? All I wanna know. Need me real ones when it's time to go. Step it in, elevator. This is to all the haters. That's all we know when we level up. Yeah, that's all we know when we level up.
Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, get up. I found out I'm not alone, 'cause I'm just like you. We are fearless when we fight and not afraid to level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? You know we fall and we get up. Level up. All we know about is level up. Are we ready not to level up? It's time, yellow skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Baby, leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. We keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after.
Look into your eyes, I see the colors of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are two hearts that beat in time, and that's how I was looking down all night, blocking out the sun that we need. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. Take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise.
Oh, I see the signs and I see we're there. And I feel the lies and I feel the same. Forever hold, no matter if we're cast away. A fire in the dark. I know that you will be where you will always. Right from the start, I see the end. A world torn apart, but I know we're meant forever hold. No matter if we're cast away, a fire in the dark. I know that you will awaken. Elohim, you're home? Can't you come over?
Ayy, I know my way to the paper. All of my women look tailored. It costs a few thousand, it's tailored. Can't drop a dime in the sidewalk. I'm in the room with the bosses. All of our pockets look gorgeous, ayy. You'll see the boys in the Forbes, ayy. Constantly plotting, we want this, ayy. I need my bag and clips extended, ayy. Blast you haters to fragments, ayy. Got no time for the cameras, cause I might just pull the extension, ayy. Young nigga back to the basics. Get in that bag on occasion. She top it until she get brainless, hey. Damn it, I love to be famous. Ayy, I'm in my bag, I don't have to brag, no. Ayy, she's watching me stack it, so what am I capping for? Ayy, if I spend it all, it's just cause I'm racking more. Ayy, you so 10 in a back, you know I'm not capping, bro. Whoa, moving too fast, you probably thought it's a ghost. Whoa, stack it up, fuck it up, bitch, I've been doing the most. Whoa, moving too fast, yeah, I just hopped in a ghost. Whoa, stack it up, fuck it up, bitch, I've been doing the most.
Ayy, bitch, I got nothing to lose. I ain't got nothing else to prove. I see they all tryna shoot. Ashamed though, cause I'm bulletproof. Can't touch me, I'm up on the roof. I'm catching bodies, hiding all the proof. I make them disappear like poof. Just like that, you're gone for good. Little baby say she want the wood. Man, I'm so misunderstood. Done playing games, we want the goods. Really did start from the bottom. Those moments can't be forgotten. And they been trying to see how I got it. Just know it ain't the least how you bought it. They bought it.
Ayy, I'm in my bag, I don't have to brag, no. Ayy, she's watching me stack it, so what am I capping for? Ayy, if I spend it all, it's just cause I'm racking more. Ayy, you so 10 in a back, you know I'm not capping, bro. Whoa, moving too fast, you probably thought it's a ghost. Whoa, stack it up, fuck it up, bitch, I've been doing the most. Whoa, moving too fast, yeah, I just hopped in a ghost. Whoa, stack it up, fuck it up, bitch, I've been doing the most.
I'm so sorry that I wasn't really there for me.
'cause nobody else is showing any empathy. Rudely awake and quite undertaken. Did I do something wrong? Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here with my thoughts alone? I don't wanna wake up messed up, 'cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, 'cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. I'm so sorry that I didn't go to therapy. Thinking everybody, even you's an enemy. Brutally awake and quite undertaken. Did not do nothing wrong. Life isn't easy. Why did you leave me here to get drunk alone? And I don't wanna wake up messed up, 'cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, 'cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. If I am so wrong and so gone, miserable, won't you stick around just for some be visible? But you don't, no, you don't care. Leave me to suffer, erase all the doubt, pouring Jack in my mouth, and a love with enough for the pain and the drugs to be present for now. But I'm right now, and I don't wanna wake up messed up, 'cause I can't spend another day like this. Another type of caked up breakup, where I've been finding any way to my fix. But I need you now, 'cause I don't wanna be around. No, I don't wanna wake up messed up. There's gotta be another way past this. We've got obsessions that we can't control. We feel the heat, but we don't wanna let go. We answer questions that we ask alone. I hear the words, but they're coming out an echo. So, would you give up the fight if you had no time to even...
All right, ladies and gents, we are back for another day of the ESL1 Malaysia qualifiers. It is John Xfire here with Ottomo. Ottomo, how are you doing today, and how are you feeling about this match between Boom versus Talon?
I feel like it's really awkward for me because I like both teams. I know people on both sides, so it's like hard to root. You know, I know you work for Talon, so I'm sure you're rooting for Boom, right? Your boss is watching you. He's like, yeah, I'm rooting for, Talon. But yeah, Mushi on Boom. Talon, I talked to KP. You were there. Sophie's there. It's like, it's a tough choice. But looking at it kind of objectively, the two teams have played against each other twice in the DPC, I believe. First time went to Talon, and they had a tiebreaker. Boom took that. And Boom in general has been looking pretty hot this tournament. Talon dropping a couple of games here and there. Overall, I'd say Boom slightly favored, but not by much.
Yeah, it looks like Boom has kind of kicked up the gears since the second half of the DPC. The first time them and Talon faced off, Talon managed to take that in the rematch for first place. They managed to beat Talon, getting the revenge story there for Boom. So a lot of back and forth. This should probably be one of our most competitive matches here in the close qualifiers, and a lot of arguments to be made that both of these teams deserve to go to Genting, right? Like these two teams are up there in Southeast Asia. Fnatic is in, also one of the top three, of course, but these two are above Fnatic. So, these guys are maybe the stronger teams, at least on paper, and it's going to be a bloodbath to watch them here. As you mentioned, it is a tough one to cheer for because I have both jerseys. Yes, I don't have them out today, but, I talked with the Boom guys. I hung out with them in Stockholm. I'm part of Talon. So it's always fun to see these guys go up against each other, and it should just be a great match. Now, again, Boom, just a heads up, they are all through for their US visas to Arlington. So they have managed to settle that. And I think they had 2 people come in today. So I believe it was Yopaj and Jackie that had to go back in today. They got approved. They're all good. I believe, let's see, Lane, their manager, is all good to go. Their videographer wasn't good to go. So you can't get everything, but the crew is ready, and that
he's the most important guy. He's the most important guy. How can you go without him?
Absolutely. I mean, you've seen some of those behind the scenes from Boom, and I'm sure Talon will have some too. So it's going to be interesting to see all those Southeast Asian teams with their little tidbits behind the scenes, and it should be fun. There should be a lot of content lined up from everyone, hopefully. And I think we can take this opportunity to segue a little bit off topic, but speaking of those Southeast Asian teams going to Arlington, there are 3 of them. And based on what the Fnatic manager, Pau, has been saying, it's not looking too good in that front. So, I don't know. They still have some time. Hopefully they get that sorted out. But at least it looks like for the most part, Talon set. Boom's completely set. And again, it should be a great match. And Boom should be extra motivated. We saw them yesterday with only, 3 of their players approved, right? And they looked insane. One series going 35 minutes, Automo. Now all of them are in. They're in a really good mind place right now.
I mean, I hope so, right? Like, this is what we want to see. And by the way, I'm kind of jealous that you have a jersey from each. What you should do is, like, anytime one team wins, just put on that jersey right before we go to the camera. Like, look, I was with them the whole time. But yeah, if either team wants to give me a jersey, please, I don't mind. I'm happy to ask for them. I'm glad to see both, at least Talon and Boom are all set, because one of the things I thought affected them in Stockholm, especially Boom Esports, was, Talon didn't go, but Boom Esports suffered because I think they arrived on the day of the tournament. Like, they had all the players arrive on the day, so it's like jet lag. They were all saying, we're sick. I know, I talked to Yopaj, I know his partner. She was like telling me like they really suffered like physically when they got there. So the fact that they are able, everything's settled right now, I'm really happy for them, because I thought Boom kind of underperformed at the Stockholm major.
Yeah, I think everyone had higher expectations for Boom. And now all those same expectations are on Boom and on Talon once more. As we do already have the draft in hand, so we can easily jump into that now. Automo, still, the lobby just launched, but there's not much going on here just yet. What do you expect, say, Talon to kind of keep an eye out? We talked about Boom having this FBZ Mars. You've got the Yopaj Invoker that popped off yesterday. His Kunka's there, Tim Smarana. What do you think's the priority for Talon to take care of first?
5 seconds remaining.
The thing is, I was looking at both of those teams, and Talon actually picks Mars almost as much as Boom Esports. I think they've picked in this patch like 18 times, the second most picked hero. So if they are, by the way, my game has quite loads, so if they have the first pick, they could take it themselves. The Death Prophet's also been a hero that's popular for both teams. And of course, there's the Razor as well. It seems to be like the hero. The Riyadh tournament, he did amazing as well. So that's another. Those are the 4 heroes that they seem to share along with the Ember Spirit. But we'll see. I mean, Boom, they don't have first pick, so Talon could take the Mars themselves, and there's the Death Prophet being banned out.
Yeah, just very KP-centered bans. We've seen that from a lot of teams. And as you said, Mars comes out, so Talon picks it up for KP on the off lane. We'll have to see how Boom responds. You still have a lot of those tools, though. Like Mirana's still on hand. They go with the Dawnbreaker here on Boom Esports, along with a Rubik. So, we've seen this before from Boom. It's not necessarily Tim's in the 4. Skem can play it on 5 here, Automo.
Yeah, and it was really good yesterday when he played as well. I mean, to be honest, everything Boom did yesterday looked really well. And now I don't know if Talon is going to take the Mirana, because it can have the Dawnbreaker. We've seen it be played, it's a flexible, could be a 4, could be one of the core roles. But Mars Mirana looked amazing when Boom had it. We'll see if they go for it as in this game for Talon's side. Other heroes, they go with Bane, has been a hero that Talon really likes. Well, Death Prophet is banned, so we'll have to wait and see. Snapfire is also always a really good hero to combo with the Mars. Great in the laning stage. You get that little shredder, then you follow it up with the physical damage from the Mars is great, and of course just the double ultimate's also good.
Yeah, and it's just playing with the circles, but as you mentioned, Talon will take the Mirana themselves, which is something we've seen Q play a lot of, but again, this is the Boom's specialty. I mean, and as good as Q is, this is what Tim's is known for, so it's interesting for Talon to dip into that. You still get that strong laning combo. Again, we saw this multiple times from Boom yesterday here, Otimo. How do you think that factors in? This is a strategy Boom's intimately familiar with.
Yeah, and by the way, I like that Talon immediately bans the Abaddon because I feel like Abaddon is just so good against this combo. If you get arrowed, you can just press the borrowed time and turn it on. It's only you can activate while you're stunned, although not silenced. And if you could just shield an ally if you want to later. So they do get rid of the Bane, which is another hero that both these teams really like. I do think Boom Esports, they'll adjust with the next few picks. We might see something like a Juggernaut, a Lifestealer pop out, something that has some save to help them out. I want to say Omni Knight, but that hero is just unpickable right now. Even though he's such a fun hero, but that Dispellable Heavenly Grace is just garbage.
Yeah, I mean, you can itemize against it, although it does take a fair bit of time, so it can be a bit tougher. There are still other save options. It's not something we see too often from Boom, although they have picked it in the past. Something like Shadow Demon could fit in, right? Like you've got Disruption, Demonic Purge, and the Cleansing Purge there as well with a Shard. It could be one way to get that done. Although, again, when you take Tim's off these playmaking pause fours, it does feel like you lose some of that impact that Boom has with a player. So I guess we've got to see. You see Talon respect banning that Lifestealers you mentioned there, Otimo. You expect them to just go straight forward, ban the Jug, or we've seen that. We've seen Boom have to play against that Jug before with Mars on their side. It didn't look like too big a factor. Is that something they might have to prioritize up against Boom, though?
That's hard to point. Oh, well, they I guess not, right? They just sort of picked up the Viper. But yeah, I think that Lifestealer is kind of the better in terms of save because the Infest gives you like, 1,200 HP. He can use his Rage just to block arrows. So I do think that they're like, all right, we can get rid of the Lifestealer, but Juggernaut, the heal's not much. He has to sort of, it's hard for him to block arrows a little bit. I think they're more okay with letting the Juggernaut go through than they are with the Lifestealer. But I mean, and they did, they did let it go through. So they're worried about the Lifestealer because it's an actual save. Like his ultimate is a save. It's a huge one. But Juggernaut, not quite so much.
Yeah, it is certainly manageable, as we saw again yesterday from Boom themselves. Interesting to see that Boom bans out the Kunkka on their side, so not willing to give that out to Mikoto or potentially even Savage on the safe lane. And they ban out the Ember, so they're forced to ban these common heroes between Yopaj and Mikoto. It leaves a few options in the table. Void Spirit's still there, Quap, Puck, the more common mids there, and they will go ahead for the Warlock. So we do have the treat of Tim's Rubik in this game with Skem on that Warlock.
I was going to say that the Ember Spirit might be something that Boom Esports considers taking, because Talon, they got stuns, but, you can generally dodge, the Mars Spear most of the time. So, but no, they get rid of the Ember themselves. And when you look at Boom Esports, their lockdown is a Rubik lift. They're not heavy in terms of lockdown. However, guess who's still in the pool? Puck is still in the pool. Neither team has actually done anything to get rid of the Puck, which is very odd because he is just one of the most popular heroes right now.
Yeah,
arguably the best mid.
It's still really popular, and we did see a lot of Puck yesterday as well, Optimum. But you have to remember, we also saw Boom handle that Puck really well, especially in their first series by picking that Tiny. We were seeing Yopaj get some solo kills. I don't expect Yopaj to do the same thing against Mikado. It's like what we saw when they played against SMG on Boom's end. It wasn't quite that snowball start for Yopaj, but it is something that we've seen Boom able to manage from the mid matchup. So I'm still keen to see what else is left in the pool. There are some quirky picks left. You mentioned that Snapfire for Talon. It could fit in for Boom with Yopaj playing it on mid. It's one of those pocket picks that Yopaj does love.
I mean, I just love that when he did that, man. Like he would go for the Blink Dagger, they use the Shard, makes a ton of space. I love when they play these heroes in different roles. And Talon, they go for the Monkey King. I was looking at Boom. They play Monkey King quite often, but not one of their most successful heroes. I think something like 40% win rate across 11 games or 12 games, something like that. So Talon definitely more successful with it. Monkey King comes out and Disruptor. That's interesting.
Very interesting. And you have some good ways of playing with Glimpse, right? You get the vision from the monkey, drag them back. You've got the Static Storm Arena combination, which can be strong. But how do you feel about the Disruptor, Optimal? Because we've seen it a couple of times, and this has been the hero's issue for a long time. It feels like if it's not able to drop that Static Storm in ideal circumstances, say you get caught out, you just drop it and die. And then the impact just doesn't feel great.
Yeah, sorry, he's one of my favorite heroes to play his position 5. You did mention that he has problems, he has issues, but you are telegraphed when you see the Dawnbreaker coming down. You know that it's like, oh, it's coming down this area. I can drop Static Storm and Kinetic Field right here, and I'll trap. Usually +1, right? Because Dawnbreaker is going to go to someone, so it's 2 people. That's really good. And also you can just glimpse back anyone who's. You can glimpse back the Dawnbreaker when she jumps in if you don't want to fight her. So there's good points of the Disruptor. My main issue is this is a very win more kind of hero. When you are losing, you don't want Disruptor on your team. You want anything else. But when you're winning, he's great because Glimpse is always a +1. In the meantime, Boom Esports, they go for the Jack Boy special, the Terrorblade, and this is going to be Terrorblade versus Monkey King. How do you feel about it, John?
It's an interesting matchup. It feels like the Terrorblade will have a lot of moments where it feels stronger, especially while Metamorphosis is up. Monkey King, it feels like facing up against the Terrorblade, you're very reliant on getting good Wukongs. Now, again, if you look at Talon's overall draft, they've got the Arena plus Wukongs plus Static Storm. So the AoE control is there. It's not going to be too hard for the Monkey King to have that presence in these engagements, but it does feel like if you don't get that ideal circumstance for Talon, Jackie might have a free time. You don't have that magical burst on Talons, and you could argue Spear, Arrow, and the Disruptor could be enough, but it's not exactly the burstiest, especially as the Terrorblade itemizes for more HP down the line with his stat item. So it can be a little bit tougher. For Talon's end, I think they need a little bit more magical burst on their mid, so it's up to the Mikado hero to really kind of balance this out here.
And they actually banned Zeus on Boom Esports, so you're right on the money. They're like, we do not want to deal with this heavy magic. Again, I'm going to go back. Puck is in the pool. I mean, Invoker gives you a good amount of magic damage, but it takes forever to go online, so I don't know how I feel about that. And Puck does get banned. That leaves Void Spirit. Queen of Pain is a pretty solid option in general. One last thing I want to go in before we finish up this ban phases. Warlock is pretty good to have against Monkey King because when you drop the Golem, it takes away all these trees. So if you just see him walking around, you can just drop the Golem on his head and get him down for 4 seconds. Lina is the last ban. Boom Esports, they are really respecting the magical damage coming out from heroes. Not too many left, but I think... I feel like the Queen of Pain might be an option.
Yeah, the co-op sounds good. I think a Void Spirit for Mikado sounds really good here as well. Allows you to rip through the Rubik and Warlock, forces out BKB usage. They go with Pango instead, so Talon goes for what seems to be the mid-Mikado Pangolier, and it's also something Yopaj plays on Boom's end. I'm keen to see what Yopaj goes for now. Mikado, it's not quite the magical burst we were looking for. Do you think this still fits in with what Talon wants to do here, though?
10 seconds.
Yeah, you should they are liking a little bit of magic damage, but Pangolier gives you a solid amount when he rolls in. It's a good amount of control as well. I like that it's a bit tankier. There's a pretty beefy draft coming out from Talon. Miran also can just jump away. Things get tough. And Boom Esports are kind of on the squishy side. With the Warlock and the Rubik. Yeah, Warlock heal is good, but it's not quite the same. These two heroes can't fall down pretty easily. So I like what Talon has. I definitely like this Pango pick. And they all have some sort of stun or a silence on their side, which makes it pretty hard for the Terrorblade before BKB and when BKB is down. So I like Talon's draft a lot. We'll have to see what Boom Esports wants to take for their last pick. Snapfire is in the pool.
Back to the
Tiny.
Yeah, we've seen it all day yesterday, and we already saw Yopaj popping off with that hero here, Ultimo. Tiny versus Pangolier, not a matchup we've seen, at least in this qualifiers ourselves. How do you think Yopaj manages that, or do you expect Nikata to maybe have a better time there?
I think it should be pretty hard for the Pangolier to die. If Pangolier jumps on Yopaj, you can just throw him out. If Yopaj tries to kill on the Mikado, he can also jump away. The disarm could be pretty annoying for Yopaj because you generally max the Tariq grab, which means he might miss he's a mid-tiny. So he might go for that burst damage with the Blink Dagger, which I think will allow him to make a lot of space and less downtime for the Tiny compared to the Pangolier. So I think the mid-matchup should go in favor of Yopaj at least.
Yeah, and again, we've seen Yopaj know the ins and outs of that Tiny really well. He, at very least, has been leading slightly in the mid lane, and on best circumstances, he finds like 3 solo kills by 6 minutes, right? So it's a hero they're really comfy on Boom. For Talon's part, again, we've seen Mikado Pangolier. It is solid. There are games where the Pangolier can start a bit slower. The itemization is pretty open. Overall, though, Ottomo, we had a bit of a touch on it earlier on, but whose draft do you favor in the end with these last picks?
I gotta say, I like Talon's draft a little bit more. There's a lot of control. They're tanky, good team fight ultimate, solid scaling. On Boom Esports, I like the Warlock. Rubik can be pretty hit or miss. We'll see what the Dawnbreaker can do, but you're up against there's good points for Boom Esports, of course. Your Podge Tiny can make a ton of space. Jackboy on Terrorblade is just incredible every time I watch him, but I'll still go with Talon.
Yeah, I like the confidence there, Ottomo. I think it's really even. It's hard to me call because Jackie Terrorblade is something he's been known for since Motivate Trust, almost 2 years now. It's one of those foundations, along with, say, his Arc Warden, I think, was the real annoying one because he could stall games out for like 30 minutes on that hero. So I'm keen to see what Boom can bring out, whether or not Yopaj can hit that running start, and how FBZ does on that off-lane Dawnbreaker. Of course, for Talon, I mean, you've got 23 Savage and his Monkey. He's been playing a lot more Void recently. Faces Void. Monkey King we don't see as often, but again, it is still a really solid hero to have on hand, and keen to see what both sides will do. Again, DPC, both sides have taken a series win against each other, so it's really close. Probably, again, one of our more competitive matches here in the closed qualifiers. We already saw Boom kind of sweep 4-0. We'll see if Talon can put a dent in that record.
By the way, whenever these two teams meet, it's always Talon who takes game 1. I mean, to be fair, they only play 2 games. It always goes 3 games. It's always Talon takes game 1. So, that's a little bit part of why I took them. But yeah, overall, just the draft really good from both sides. Like, there is no place where you can go like, oh yeah, what a weird pick. Of course, this is going to be kind of like, nope, just both teams looks like you said, even matchup here.
Yeah. Should be really close, and not seeing too many early shenanigans here. Just kind of grouping up around mid. Both sides already dropping some early wards to watch that mid lane. Where do you feel like the emphasis will come out here, Ottomo? What lane are we expecting both sides to kind of build momentum in? Is it all about this Mikado versus Yopaj matchup here on mid?
I think a lot of it will be also on KP as well as Q in the bottom lane. Like, that's something I'm going to be keeping a lot of my eye on, because we've seen Mars and Mirage just do a ton of damage, and Terrorblade does not start with a whole lot of HP. He's got less than 580 health only. He's got a ton of armor, but not much health, so that magic damage could bring him down quite easily.
The battle begins.
Gonna be scuffling over the runes just a bit. It does look like a 3-for-1 start in Talon's favor. Gonna be able to grab that top rune as well. Boom stuck with 1 rune. So we've seen this a couple of times from Boom. They're willing to sacrifice those early runes. Take a look at the lanes as they break out down bot. Of course, Jackie on the Terrorblade, along with Skem on his Warlock, laning up against KP on his Mars, and Q on the Mirana. So again, looking at this duo out from Talon, this is something Boom knows very well. They're very familiar with what you want to do. Do you feel like the Warlock and Terrorblade can handle that lane?
That's going to be pretty tough for them to handle as well. Though, as I say that, Jackboy just takes out half of KP's HP, but still, just the first skirmish, and he does have his meta on. So I do think that Talon will be able to like put up some serious pain. Skem is good that he's got the Warlock, because kind of going to need him to keep Jackboy alive. And look at Q! Holy crap! Holy moly! What?
Ooh! Oh, Q! He's actually gone. Trades a bit too long with Skem. Skem gets a really good use of Shadow Word, and Q just not able to disengage. Did have 8 tangos on hand, but didn't really manage to use them. So First Blood goes the way of Boom. Already getting a great start off, and it does feel like, again, that familiarity with what the Mars and Mirana will want to do. They know its shortcomings. They just run down to Mirana early levels. Arrow does only secured a range creep. KP's been copping a lot of hits from Jackie with that metamorphosis, as he called out Otno, and we'll have to see if Talon can find a way to reel this one back in as the levels go up. Of course, over on mid, as we have some time, Mikado versus Yopaj again on that tiny Pangolier. Again, we don't see too much of the tiny Pango, or at least we haven't seen it in the past day. How do you think this one shapes up, Ottomo?
It should just be a farm fest for both. Both of them probably going to hit level 6 around the same time, and then it depends less on sort of the lane matchup and more about who can make good moves around the map. And Yopaj has had an advantage because Tiny, you get the Blink Dagger, your downtime is basically your basic spell combo, whereas Mikado, you have to wait for Rolling Thunder to really be able to fight. And dude, Q is just taking so much damage in this bottom lane.
Yeah, keeps trading hits with Skem. Skem just stands his ground, pops a Shadow Word, trades a right click. Warlock right click isn't too shabby, the damage output he has, and this is giving Jackie so much room. He is finding a lot more farm than KP at the moment. He's got the sustain, all the sustain he could possibly ask for coming through from Skem. Skem is out of mangoes, so is out of that mana regen to sustain here, but still getting so much harassment off. Q just cannot trade. The Warlock has 60 base damage, Q only has 56, so he's losing every single time they trade right clicks. Ooh.
Dude, Skem, he's like, he has a spider sense or something. He's like, feels the arrow. He's like, all right, there's something coming my direction. I'm just going to stop. But incredible. Like, this is, he's making plays on Warlock 5. Like, how often do you say that about anybody? You're like, oh man, look at this Warlock 5. He is really putting in the work.
Yeah, he's just been dancing around and really making this game hellish for Q. Still, well, we've got some time. The last thing we haven't really talked about up top, you've got Savage on the Monkey King, along with Hyde on that Disruptor. They are up against Tims and FBZ on the Rubik and Dawnbreaker, making some moves forward, getting some damage onto Hyde, and they are hammering down onto Savage, but he's got the Jingu up. Looking for an angle out, does get the Boundless only onto one, trying to trade hits with FBZ. Is it enough to kill him off? Starting to drop low, but the Boundless does lose it. The Jingu does lose its stacks as FBZ on the chase. Not quite enough mana. Does have the stick. A lot of aggression, a lot of trades up here up top, Ottomo. Looking like it's leading to a bit of a better time for FBZ here.
Yeah, just a tiny bit though. Like it's still going to be fine for them. Once the Disruptor gets level 3, his Thunderstrike does almost double in damage. That's pretty good. So, but FBZ, he's loving life, especially compared to KP, who's got 6 CS in 4 minutes. Whoops, I guess is what all you can say. This situation, he is definitely not enjoying. And Jacobo, you do start with just so much base damage here. Of course, all that harass really helped as well.
Yeah, and just those initial trades, just Q perhaps giving out that first blood, gives this opportunity for Boom to control the lanes a lot better, get that level lead up on Jackie, and really just expose the weaknesses of the Mars here. Just not able to do much. Great reflection spam out from Jackie as well. And we're just not seeing the impact of that Mirana. Now, Q is rotating towards mid. He doesn't really have the best arrow setup coming out from Pangolier, and we are still seeing Yopaj kind of overtake. They do manage to find that kill on Tims up top, punishing a bit of an overextension here from Boom's end. Savage still getting a bit of a chase off, but not going to be able to fully chase off. He does dive on that tier 1 just a bit. Does have the mischief with at least dodge chat damage. So Talon finds a kill, some punishment onto Tims. It still feels like Boom is getting more from these side lanes though.
Yeah, I mean, that's the level 2 Thunderstrike we talked about. It's just a good amount of damage. And Q gets a courier, so that's good for him. They notice that Q's not around. They're like, all right, Skim, go to the mid lane, see what you can do here. And Yopaj gets his bottle filled up by Tims. So Tims dies, but it's not really the biggest deal because FBZ, he's still farming up a Storm. He's got more CS than any of the cores on Talon right now, so he's happy with this. Like, you're fine sacrificing Tims.
Yeah, it's definitely a move that you're willing to make. Still, have to watch yourself for the damage output of Hyde now, that level 2 Thunderstrike, as you mentioned. FBZ sort of low on the regen, still has the stick charges to play with. Savage does get salved up as well to stay in that lane. And again, shaping up to still look a little bit better for Boom here. For Talon, I mean, what do we expect Q to do? Like, he's been hanging around mid, sniping couriers, securing runes, but they haven't been able to play around with that early aggression with the arrow, unlike Boom in the past day yesterday with Tims.
Oh, lucky Yopaj gets the regen rune for him. Yeah, Q is just, he's kind of playing map tourist at the moment, where he's like checking out this area, checking out that area. He's not able to really pressure Yopaj. Yopaj just got too much health right now. He can't really help bottom as well because they want KP to get that solo EXP. So they're like, all right, just